Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. Day 10 will take us to the 11th of December. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and Ensembles. Very much around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 for January at the end of the video. The opening salvo for the CFS Monthly for January. You'll have a look at that in the last minute or so of the vid. Please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thanks so much for doing that. Very, very busy day at GavsWeatherVids today with 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've released January, Friday, this is your 10 to 14 day. Terry Scully's December and Winter 2023-24 forecast going to be released at 5 PM. Live stream for channel members at 6 PM. I'm doing a Friday night pub run live at 10:30. And I am keeping a very close eye on what's happening on Saturday night and Sunday morning in terms of an area of rain, sleet and snow, but could push across England and Wales. At the moment, I'm still not sure if there's enough in this for snow watch, but if things upgrade anymore, there may be a snow watch coming up either later tonight or tomorrow sometime. Now I'm gonna I've got the winter forecast to do as well this Sunday, so I'm gonna be on an iron lung. I think by the end of this weekend I'm gonna be done for. But it's all good, you know, it's all good. It's very crazy this time of year, especially when it happens to be cold as well as it is this year. So I don't mind though. This is like peak Gav, December, you know, it's peak Gav, and yeah, so just watch your space as all of the updates come along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a conveyor belt. Now we're launching a little bit of a competition today, so if you would like to have a chance of winning our Christmas merch, that includes the amazing GavsWeatherVids Christmas merch and the Christmas coaster that goes with that as well, and our little Christmas decoration, so you can have Gav on your Christmas tree, our decoration, as well as a £15 Amazon voucher. Though a nice little bundle there, you know, a really nice bundle. If you want a chance of winning that, there's 2 ways you can do that. If you're on the GavsWeatherVids Discord, then just reply to the post in the giveaway channel from James298 with the snow emoji. Now that's how you do it on Discord. Otherwise, I know a lot of people aren't on Discord, so if you want to enter, then just email GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com with the headline, you know, competition or something, merch competition, and I will enter you into the prize draw. It is going to be a prize draw, so everybody who's entered, their name will go on the name picker, and on the live stream, which I think will be a week on Sunday, 10th of December, somebody will win, you know, somebody will win that bundle of Christmas merch and a £15 Amazon voucher as well. So a nice little Christmas giveaway from GavsWeatherVids. We're the channel that gives back. You know, we're the channel that gives back. That's how you can do that. So good luck, everybody wants to enter. Just say UK resident only. That does include like Channel Islands, Isle of Man. You know, that's very Northern Line too. Right, okay, let's crack on then. We say the 14 day. Announcements done. Right, central temperature is in now for November. So we came in at 7.4, which was a full 1 degree above the 61 to 1990 average. And there we go. So that's quite a drop from where he was earlier on in the month. The cold final week or so of November really did pull back down quite significantly, and yes, so we came out at 7.4. Last month of the year, of course, is December. We wait to see where that comes in. I imagine when we get first day's data in tomorrow will be below average, but it will be interesting to see. Been a funny old year with CT, so you can see that January was above average, February was significantly above average, March was a little bit above average, despite having quite a cold start. April slightly above average, 61 to 1990, but actually was one of the cooler months compared to 91 to 20. I think relatively close to average, maybe even a little bit below. May was above average, very hot June, of course. Then we have July and August, which were slightly above for 61 to 1990 there, but were actually cooler than average for 91 to 20. So July and August both came in below the modern average. September, of course, the record breaker, 17 degrees first time we ever had a 17 Celsius CT September, which was a full 3.4 degrees above 61 to 99 average. October, quite warm as well, 12.1, and then 7.4 for November. Notice how the anomaly is gradually reducing as we go from September to October to November. If that trend was to continue into December, maybe we would have a chance of coming out below average for December. But it will be interesting to see how that works out. Of course, we will keep you updated. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, Leeds today, red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Leeds. We're starting off below average at the moment. We're going to stay quite cold at least until the middle part of next week. Later on next week, we get a rise in the upper air temperatures. So as we go through the second week of December and up to the middle and second half of the month, there's a lot of scatter there. That's what I will say about that. So we have, of course, got the milder ensemble members up here, which have been a trend within the GFS and its ensembles for several days. But I think we've got a lot more in the way of colder ensemble members here as well through this second week of December. Now, if you've seen Jeremy Friday, I hope I'm not letting cats out of the bag, but if you've seen Jeremy Friday, you'll know that the JMA and the CFS are quite keen to continue relatively cold air, not as cold as week one, but continue relatively cold air going into week two. And we do see quite a few GFS ensemble members now that are starting to keep it relatively cold through that second week of December. And it's actually enough to start reducing the ensemble mean, the white line, a little bit there, between around the 11th and the 13th of December, actually. So after the slightly milder interlude at the end of next week, it drops down again for a little bit anyway, and then goes close to average. So a lot of scatter there, a lot of uncertainty, I think, about this second week of December, just how much it warms up. But it is going to get milder, I think, or less cold anyway, where we're going to be in the next sort of 4 or 5 days anyway. Precipitation wise, so more dry weather to come for today and tomorrow for Leeds. Could be a few winter showers, of course, but mostly dry. And then we get precipitation appearing later in the weekend through to the early part of next week. Of course, it's still quite cold then, so some of that might be a little bit wintry. And then plenty of precipitation spikes through the second week of December, so plenty of wet weather to come. Having a look at snow row for Leeds, so it looks pretty decent for Leeds. Get some snow on Sunday. And I say, I am keeping an eye on the situation for Sunday. There may be a snow watch appearing at some point in the next few days. Where we go drier for the early part of next week, or not necessarily dry, but risk of snow reduces. But as we go further on through the second week of December, again, we do have a few snow spikes here, interestingly. Some around the 9th, more around the 13th, 14th, some quite big spikes then as well. So again, just there's a bit of question mark, I think, here about just how much milder or less cold it's going to get through that second week of December. Temperature anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of December coming out below average. Most parts of Europe looking cold, especially northern and northeastern parts of Europe. And precipitation anomalies from the 1st to the 9th of December. So a little bit close to average, or a little bit drier than average for the northwest Scotland Island, but for England and Wales, wetter than normal. Latest Windflow Map from earth.nullschool.net shows up we're still pulling in those cold east-northeast winds today. So the cold weather continues. We've got an area of low pressure in the Bay of Biscay and more low pressure in the Atlantic. These areas of low pressure will gradually start to encroach on us over the next week or so. UK Met Euro run shows are up very nicely. Start going through chart data. So this is midnight on Monday. Area of low pressure just to our southwest. That will be pushing up a band of rain. Might turn to sleet or snow on the leading edge with that. Have wait and see a little bit closer to time frame. And then the low pressure moves across northern France into the Low Countries. So we pull in cold east winds again. The change really comes later next week with this area of low pressure in the Atlantic Wednesday to Thursday, bring up a proper push of southwesterly winds, turning milder then, and wet and windy with the UK Met Euro run. And that's how you finish up on at midnight on Friday, 8th of December. Low pressure dominating, wet, windy, winds coming in off the Atlantic, so obviously it will be quite a lot milder than these easterly winds that we've been experiencing through the last few days. Icon, again, with that area of low pressure to our southwest midnight on Monday. I don't think that low pressure gets quite as far north with Icon as it does with the UK Met. So again, there's a bit of uncertainty about how much precipitation can going to be pushing northwards with that low through the course of Monday. It's possible most places could stay dry and quite cold, actually. Middle of next week, low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing wet and windy weather in. The low pressure, though, with icons a bit further southwards, and it's not bringing as much of a southwesterly wind in with it the middle part of next week. So I would suggest that with icon there is a little bit more wintry potential through the northern half of the country through the middle of next week. This area of low pressure, I could see that producing a snow event for northern England, Scotland. Will probably be rain for England and Wales. And then the next low, that's the one that brings a change at the end of next week. This one does bring up a southwesterly push, turns things milder, although northern England and Scotland probably still quite cold with those southeast winds continuing. The GFS midnight run, again, that low pressure is further north with the GFS midnight run compared to icons, more like where the UK Met has it. So that brings rain into the south, maybe a little bit of wintry weather through the Midlands, East Anglia. Again, we'll have to wait and see closer to the time frame. The low pressure gets out of the way by Wednesday, back into relatively cold air, more low pressure zone waiting in the Atlantic. These are the lows that bring the change for the second half next week, turning milder, wetter and windier with that big area of low pressure very unsettled. Then the low pressure then clears away to the east into the weekend of the 9th of 10th of December. That pulls cold winds back in from the north again, but only temporarily. More low pressure then comes rolling in as we get to day 10. In the extending range, well, heights start to rise again up towards Greenland and Iceland, start to push these areas of low pressure further southwards, so we start to turn colder again through the second week of December on the GFS. Midnight run, maybe a little bit more wintry potential with both winds going back to the north and to the northeast. Eventually, then a ridge of high pressure starts to build in from the southwest, so it turns drier by mid-December, but also cold under that area of high pressure. Eventually, low pressure starts breaking through. Again, that gets us to the 17th of December. Really mixed bag with a lot of alternating day-to-day weather patterns. This is the precipitation forecast based on that GFS midnight run from the Weather Outlook. So, of course, at the moment, we've still got those wintry showers piling into the east. So, we'll generally start to fade out, I think, by tomorrow, and then watching that system coming in from the west. So, this is 3 a.m. Sunday. Heavy rain into southwest, a little bit of snow parts of Wales, and then this wet weather pushes across central southern parts of England, Wales. Again, could be some snow through the middle, so it's very marginal, but there is a risk of some snow there through the Midlands on the GFS midnight run. Rain further south, also central Wales and North Wales as well. Risk of some snow through the course of Sunday. So big question mark about Sunday. It's only like 48 hours away, less than that actually. Saturday night, really, tomorrow night. So a lot of uncertainty just how much of this precipitation will be rain and snow. It looks like it will be rain in the south, but as we get into the Midlands, I think in particular, and into parts of Wales, possibly eastern England, that's where question mark is. I'm keeping close on it, but maybe so much up here. And then we get this next low pushing up from the south into Monday. That brings heavy rain again through central some parts of England, snow through Wales, possibly into the north and the West Midlands as well, but it's mainly a rain event there with snow through Wales into northern England. Remember, Icon has that low pressure much further southwards though. Again, Sunday, Monday, lots of uncertainty. The push of milder winds comes in through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In comes the wet weather as well. Red, orange and red colours in with that rain, so indicating some very wet weather at times. And then we're off and running into push of really unsettled weather through the rest of the week with lots of bouts of rain coming through. We go further on into December and it stays generally unsettled. Don't go any further than that. That gets to 12th of December. Right, let's crack on. It's our GFS 6Z is looking. Again, that low pressure coming up from the south as we go through 6 a.m. Monday. I think the GFS 6Z might be a little bit further south with that, though, compared to the midnight run. So it's a nightmare, this. Really, with these areas of low pressure on a southerly track. That's how things look 6 a.m. Tuesday, so by then the lows move through southern counties. We're pulling in this cold northeasterly wind again. Then get a ridge of high pressure. Then comes the push of much milder air through the middle. Second half next week is 6 a.m. Thursday. Wind southwest winds, so obviously much milder at that point. Wet and windy too. that leads us into a very unsettled but relatively mild weekend next weekend, with deep low pressure bringing wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. That carries on up to around day 10, and then we start to bring more of a northwesterly flow back in once again. Winds turn around to the north there by the 13th of December, then high pressure reaching through the country, turning us drier and colder into the middle part of the month. Could be frost and fog under that area of high pressure, before eventually westerly break back through again on the 17th of December. This is how the precipitation forecast looks based on that GFS 6Z run. Again, we've got wintry showers into the eastern counties at the moment. They're going to fade out by tomorrow, and then in comes this precipitation overnight Saturday into Sunday. Now, that's further north on the 6th day compared to midnight run, which means more of Wales, central, southern, southwest England has rain, but more parts of Midlands and up to northern England we see snow, and some of that snow again could push through the Midlands in some eastern counties as we go through the overnight period, Saturday into Sunday. And a proper old survey, actually, for northern parts of England here on the GFS 6Z. So, the Midlands loss is northern England's gain there, with that precipitation being further northwards. Then into Monday, up comes the next area of rain, that turning to snow through Wales and the Midlands as we go through the overnight period on Sunday to Monday. And a proper snow event through Wales into the northwest Midlands. Meanwhile, the East Midlands and East Anglia, sector of the south east, gets outbreaks of heavy rain. Oh, and then it's a headache, isn't it? That low pressure then clears away, and we bring the wind in from like a north-northeasterly direction by the time we get through Tuesday. And then into Wednesday and Thursday, we get the push of milder weather from the Atlantic. So by Thursday, everything away from Scottish Mountains anyway, it's rain and a lot of heavy rain piling in from off the Atlantic, and then we're off and running, of course, into what looks like a very wet and windy and unsettled weekend. Goodness gracious me. I reckon we might do a snow watch. I think there's enough here to suggest that it would be worthwhile doing a snow watch. I don't know if that will be tonight, because I'm so busy today, or whether that will be sometime tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow evening, but I think so much will be appearing soon. GM, if you enjoyed the video, by the way, please do like, share, subscribe, but show everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. We did put on around 60 subscribers, 60, to get ourselves to 17.4k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, that'd be absolutely amazing and incredible. And we thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, GM, again, that area of low pressure to the south and to the southwest on Monday. The lows further southwards, I think, with GM from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, more where Icon has it. Remember, the further south below is the further south the rain, sleet and snow risk will be with that. Then high pressure reaching in behind it, so middle of next week mostly dry and cold. Then we start getting low pressure pushing in from the but not with conviction. Notice heights are rising over Scandinavia. So instead of like a southwesterly, we've got more of a southeasterly, probably turning milder, but certainly that is closer to keeping things cold even into the second half of next week. But by day 9, 10, then the Atlantic breaks through with a little bit more conviction. Although even then, still into a southeasterly flow in the far north of the country, still relatively high heights up to the north and to the northeast. The upper air temperatures with the GM by day 10 look like that. So generally milder, but you've only got to go just a little bit to the northeast of us to find cold air lurking to the north and the east. And then the ECM WF looking like that once more. We have that area of low pressure coming up from the southwest midnight on Monday. Again, a little bit further south, more where Icon has it, I think, compared to like the GFS and the UK Met. More centred over northern France. So questions about the beginning of next week. It's only a couple of days away as well. And then into the second half of the week, we do get that push of much milder southwesterly winds. So Wednesday, Thursday turning mild, wet and windy with both southwesterly winds. And then we're off and running, we're off to the races in an Atlantic push, wet, windy and mild there. Right, this is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. So this is what it's doing with snow risk on Saturday night, and it's bringing, quite appreciable levels of snow actually through Wales and Midlands into eastern England, even down into the south actually. There's a little bit of sleet snow, but the main event is like from Wales into the Midlands there, the ECM, and then up to the eastern part of England on Saturday night, and further snow actually through parts of Midlands into East Anglia on and off through Sunday. So it could be quite a snow cover there by the end of Sunday in some of those places. Rain down in the south. Then we go through to Monday with that low being further southwards compared to like the GFS. It means that the rain snow risk then is like through southwestern England, just into south of Wales and around the M4, just up to like Oxfordshire, etc. Rain down on the south coast, but remember, there's so much uncertainty of this. It could be further north, could be further south of that. Then drier through the middle part of next week before the mild push comes in for the second half of next week. That bringing all of this heavy rain and the strong winds in from off the Atlantic as well. And then, of course, we're off into bouts of rain sweeping in from off the Atlantic. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10 from ECM.int. Gets us to the 11th of December. 14 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure dominating. I think that probably includes the operational run. So wet and windy with that one. We've got another 11 just here, or we've got 11 with low pressure over top of country. That looks very unsettled too. We have got 8 with low pressure, looks like gone in a northwest southeast trajectory there. So heights rising to the northwest and still high to the north. That means we pull in quite cold winds from the northwest or the north with that. So that's a colder option there. We have got another 8 just here with low pressure over top of country, blocking, strong northern blocking away to the north. Very, very close with that option, keeping things cold. Probably would be keeping it cold up across Scotland, actually. We have got 6 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure, bring milder air in from off the Atlantic, despite still having relatively high pressure around Greenland. And then we have also got 4 with low pressure to our west, high pressure up to the northeast. Wind coming up from southwesterly direction, that's milder as well. Looks like the majority options are to be very unsettled, yes, with low pressure in control, but milder around day 10. But there is a slight possibility we might keep things colder. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 15th, gets to the 16th of December. 15 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure to our west, low pressure north of Scotland, winds in from the northwest with that. That's setting things down a little bit and turning things a bit colder. We have got 13, looking very mild then, high pressure to our south and southwest, low pressure to our north and northwest. That's bringing in a southwesterly wind, so that's going to be really quite mild with that option. We have got also 13 with low pressure over the country, high pressure still blocking up to the north. That is still close to keeping it cold in the north, otherwise it's unsettled milder. And then we have got 10. Oh, it's a minority, but quite a substantial minority, 10 options, with high pressure dominating from Scandinavia to Greenland, low pressures away to southwest, and that will be bringing cold easterly winds. Of course, with the low pressure to southwest, there would be the possibility that we could get some snow with that. Right, the last thing to look at is CFS for January. Here it is, opening salvo. And this is the first 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 for January in terms of the monthlies. It looks mild but unsettled, low pressure in the North Atlantic, the Azores high reaching up from Spain into France, which brings up a southwesterly wind from Bermuda. So the temperature anomaly for January is above average, and most parts of Europe looking very, very mild as well. And finally, precipitation-wise, it looks like it's a wet January, so mild, wet and windy for January. That's the opening salvo from CFS. Probably no surprise that that's what the CFS would have as its opening salvo, and we shall see. It'll be interesting to monitor that over the next 4 weeks and see how that changes, or indeed if it does. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Remember, we are launching our competition today, so if you want a chance to win our Christmas mug, our Christmas decoration, and our Christmas coaster, as well as a £15 Amazon voucher. If you want to win our Christmas bundle, then all you need to do is what am I talking about? I'm rambling on our time. All you need to do with that is email me at GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com, and I will enter you into the prize draw. Today's goal is December forecast is coming up, and winter forecast coming up at 5 p.m. live with 2 streams, one for channel members, one a regular stream at 6 and at 10:30. And tomorrow and over the weekend is what we've got coming up. So tomorrow we've got 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. That'll be the EC 42 dayer, weekend forecast 10 to 40 dayer as well. Sunday, it is the big one for GavsWeatherVids. 6 p.m. broadcast, we'll kick it all off. Then at 2 p.m. we are premiering the winter 2023-24 forecast. We'll be live at 6 p.m. as well on Sunday, discussing winter forecast, doing the 10 to 14 day, looking at some long range, etc, etc, etc. That's all to come over the weekend. We've got Christmas updates and maybe a snow watch that we've got to get in as well at some point. So I don't know, but I'm going to get it all done and then I'll collapse by the new year. No, but that's all for this one. Check out Terry's forecast at 5, but for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.